Imagine Anfield next season under a new manager, a new era, and a new identity. Xabi Alonso on the touchline, the cloud electric, a Liverpool team that makes you hold your breath again. Frimpong bombing forward on the right, Kekes overlapping on the left, Wharton picking passes through the lines, Gravenberch carrying the ball like he owns the pitch, Szoboszlai pressing everything that moves, Wirtz finding the space that doesn't even exist, and Isak cold, clinical, inevitable, finishing everything. That's not a dream, that's a realistic Liverpool squad built around one of the best managers in the world, playing the most exciting football the league has seen in years. But it doesn't happen by accident. It requires decision most sporting directors don't have the courage to make. So in today's video, that's exactly what I'm doing. I am the sporting director and this is my realistic rebuild under Xabi Alonso. We're gonna give him a team that's gonna fight for next season titles. I'm gonna use the 3-4-3 system. It's his best system. It's the system that has succeeded at Leverkusen. He hasn't really had the chance to put it in place at Real Madrid, but I think Liverpool have the right players to fit in that system, and most of the players also already know that system. Kekes plays it with the Hungary national team, so on the left he'll be really comfortable. Frimpong played at Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso, so he knows the system. Jeremy Jacquet, who's coming in this summer, has played in a back three with Rennes. There is Wirtz who played in that creative role, and there is even Szoboszlai who played it in Leipzig. So I think this system suits the most of the players. So we start with a goalkeeper position where there is actually no debate. Alisson starts, as I said. We keep Alisson. He still has 1 year left on his contract. We're gonna seek that 1 year and see if we're gonna extend him or not. But Alisson is really comfortably one of the best goalkeepers and incredibly shot stopper. I don't see why we doesn't keep him. The only issue with Alisson is injuries, but also have Georgi Mamadashvili as a number 2. I'm not yet fully convinced, but I still think Georgi Mamadashvili deserves a second season where he gets the chance maybe to feature also more, as I said, and I think that's a great backup. And as a third goalkeeper, we have Freddie Woodman, picks up a home ground spot and is not bad for a third goalkeeper. We know he's not really gonna get minutes, so why not? So my goalkeeper position is fixed. So let's get to the back line, where I think we'll have to buy a defender. We have said that we keep Virgil van Dijk, we keep Joe Gomez, we also keep Giovanni Leone, who unfortunately has had an ACL injury and hasn't played his first full season at Liverpool. But I don't forget that he's extremely promising. He's a player that Liverpool have invested a lot, a player that also is seen as the next best Italian defender. I think there is potential in him, and I think in a back three it will be pretty easy for him. And there is also Jeremy Jacquet coming in the summer. So we have 4 defenders for 3 positions, but I think it's not enough. I think we can go and buy an extra defender, especially that in that back three that Xabi Alonso played, he had a left-footed defender who was really great on the ball. I'm talking about Piero Incapié. We don't have really that profile, and Virgil van Dijk is also aging. I think it's better that Liverpool go and recruit a player. I'm talking about Marco Senesi. He's ending his contract in June this year, so he'll be out of contract, will be free to recruit. So this is a player that can fit in what Xabi Alonso wants to do, and is a player also who's experienced, not that old, and Xabi Alonso has that sort of coaching also where he doesn't just buy young players. He has been coached obviously by Jose Mourinho, so has took that a bit from Mourinho. When he wins that title with Leverkusen, he went on and bought Xhaka in his midfield, so it means that Xabi Alonso wants experienced defenders. So that's why I thought about Marco Senesi. So my starting back three would be Senesi as a left center back, Virgil van Dijk as the center back, and Jeremy Jacquet as my right center back, who can also cover with, because Jeremy Jacquet is so athletic, reminds me a bit of Konate. And Konate, by the way, if you're wondering why I don't mention him, it's because he will be out of contract and I don't think Liverpool will extend him. So that will be my center backs that season, and I think we're good. And if not, there is also the young Dukwe in the U21 who's really promising, so I would also give him minutes if ever needed. Let's talk about the wing backs. The left wing back, Keke, stays, and Robertson announced that he's leaving. I think that's the best value of money Liverpool have spent in their entire history. Went and paid 8 million for him at Hull City and went on and became the best left back in the world for what, 3, 4, 5 years, consistently getting 10 goal contribution and more, chasing records of assists, serving on the pitch, and an extraordinary personality out of the pitch. I think he has done a lot for this club, and as he said, I think he's living with no regrets. He's given all he could to this club, and that's a player I think personally as a Liverpool fan I'll miss. A great lieutenant for Jurgen Klopp, really embodies everything that Liverpool should represent. Also, again, Robertson, you're a proper legend. And for the left back role, I thought of staying with Kostas Tsimikas, the Greek scouser who is already appreciated by the fans, who could be a great replacement for Robertson, because he won't play every minute because the future is Kerkez, and Kerkez he's gonna play almost every game. So I didn't want to recruit, but I would go with Rafael Guerreiro this season, who hasn't played that much. He's also a backup at Bayern Munich. Although this season he has played only 900 minutes of football, he has had 7 goal contribution. And what I like with Rafael Guerreiro is that he reminds me of that profile of Alejandro Grimaldo, who can also play in that midfield, who can create those sort of overloads in midfield that Xabi Alonso would like. And again, Guerreiro is 32 years old. He won't be here for the future, but I think as a player who will bring in experience in the squad, who has that winning mentality, who has won everywhere he has gone, who also has a different profile to Kerkez, would be a great fit in the team. So that would be my recruitment. And at the right wing back role, we're gonna play Frimpong. I think he's the one that's gonna be even blessed with Xabi Alonso. The team has done really well with Bayer Leverkusen, has scored 30 goals with Bayer Leverkusen from a right wing back role. I think that's really ridiculous. Can have that same impact. I believe there is Conor Bradley also who can compete for that role, and there is even Ramsey that I didn't mention but can also compete for that role and can even play in the defense. So I think that's enough cover. So let's get into midfield, where I have to buy someone. So in that double pivot, I think Xabi Alonso wants 2 profiles. I think he wants a deep lying player maker at number 6 who can find passing runs, exactly like the player like Xhaka was for him at Leverkusen. And he wants probably a box-to-box midfielder, maybe someone like Ezequiel Palacios, the player he had at Bayer Leverkusen. But I think Liverpool are blessed in that area, and my biggest sell in that area, as I said in my last video, would be Macarista. So Macarista, I'd sell him for around 50-60 million. Teams in Spain, I believe they will come calling this summer, and he hasn't really extended his contract, so it's the best time to sell him. In the midfield, I start, of course, Gravenberch, but I start Gravenberch not as a 6 but as an 8. As an 8 who can play as a box-to-box midfielder, who can also help as a 6, but I don't believe that Gravenberch's best position is a number 6, so I don't play him as a number 6. And I also have Stefan Bajcetic in that role, Curtis Jones in that role, who can sort of rotate with him, and they bring in a number 6. So a number 6, I thought about different profiles. I thought about 3 players. The third option, a player that I think is not really a Liverpool type of recruit because he's now 25 years old, he's more experienced, he's in his prime already, is Sandro Tonali. I think Sandro Tonali in this summer, he would be an excellent opportunity, a great player, a sort of register as a number 6. He has a great passing. I think he could fit in the team really well, but again, I think Newcastle will ask a lot of money this summer, so I don't see Liverpool spending 100 million on a midfielder. So that's why I didn't pick Tonali, but I have other interesting options. My second option, actually who was my first option if the money would be available, would have been Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson is the best for me English midfielder, alongside of course Declan Rice this season. I want to rejuvenate this midfielder, also to bring also more homegrown players. So Elliot Anderson would have been the perfect opportunity, but if he's gonna start this summer alongside Declan Rice, his value would be incredible. I don't think he will leave for less than 100 million, but the profile is so complete. He can play as an 8, can play as a 6, elite at pressing, could fit that Xabi Alonso system perfectly. But again, the fee is so huge that I think it's impossible. He'll go at City maybe to replace Rodri. So the player I went with is Adam Wharton. Another player I like. He's not sort of an aggressor like Elliot Anderson, more composed, more a ball-playing number 6 who has an incredible left foot, who can find passing lands with his left foot. So if you can get Adam Wharton in for 60 million, I think that's a great deal. So my midfield would be complete with also Szoboszlai, who can play also in those roles, but I'll keep Szoboszlai for more advanced roles. So that will be my midfield complete. We also have Trey Nayoni, who can come in, Stefan Bajcetic, as I said, Curtis Jones, who can also rotate in. So at Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso played with 2 attacking midfielders, 2 advanced players in those half space zones, and we're going to replicate it with Florian Wirtz, of course, on the left, who will let also Kerkez have all the width on the left. Florian Wirtz, I know this season he has been inconsistent. He hasn't really shown the value Liverpool have paid for him, but I think there is a player in him. I think there is a reason Liverpool paid the record British transfer for him before breaking it for Alexander Isak. There is a reason, and there is a player in Florian Wirtz. So under, especially a manager that knows him in those half spaces zones, he will be dangerous. And also you can compete with a player like Cody Gakpo. I said I would sell. I think I would keep him. I think Cody Gakpo, if he doesn't need to cut inside because he'll already be inside, I think he can be a great player to compete with. So I would keep Cody Gakpo as my other alternative for that role. And on the other side, as the other 10, I'll play Dominic Szoboszlai, who's the best player in the team. You have to build the team around him, has everything, has even played in that role at Leipzig, has played in that role with the Hungary national team. He is a number 10 by formation, so it's important to have Szoboszlai in that team, and I think if needed, even he can cover that 8th role at the place of Gravenberch. So for me, Szoboszlai and Wirtz as my number 10s is enough as options. But we also know that Xabi Alonso, in his first season, he played that system with also out wingers. So he likes to have different profiles, and since we were at a big club, you have to give him both options. We have Rio and Gumoha, who can be that sort of winger, who can flourish in that team, who can play the sort of role that Hudson-Odoi played in that Leverkusen team under Alonso, or that role of Nathan Tella if you want. So I think Liverpool have to go and get an extra winger, especially that Mohamed Salah is leaving. The departure of Mohamed Salah, by the way, that leaves big wages, so we don't really have money for Mohamed Salah, but we will recoup his wages. So I think we can go and buy another player, another winger, another player. I know the dream signing would be Olise. I've seen most of you are excited about Olise. I love Olise also, by the way. He, apart from Lamine Yamal, I don't enjoy watching any other player than Olise. Olise is simply incredible, and I would love it, but let's be realistic for a second. He's not gonna sign for Liverpool. He's under contract at Bayern Munich. He's playing for the best team in Europe right now. Why would he join Liverpool, apart if he has a release clause in his contract? So my other option is simply Yan Diomande. I've made a video about it. I'm not gonna explain why again. Yan Diomande, the second best dribbler in the world right now, an incredible winger, can play on the left, can play on the right, can play with his left foot, can play with his right foot. He's so young, 19 years old, already 10 goals in the Bundesliga in his first season. Leipzig are a selling club. Yes, it will be expensive. It will cost you around 80-70 million, but imagine having Rio Ngumoha and Yan Diomande on the wings. It would be crazy. And if Xabi Alonso have the 2 options to play them, again, it's incredible. So I'd recruit Yan Diomande as the replacement of Mo Salah. And at the striker position, Liverpool are blessed. We don't need any other striker because Isak starts as lone striker. He's really intelligent in his movement. He's a clinical finisher. I think he's perfect for the 3-4-3 system, because that system will also create a lot of chances, and Isak will be there to finish them. And also Ekitike will play as a super sub, can come in, impact the games. I know that most of you will say, oh, we should find a system that plays them both together in some games. Xabi Alonso can adapt. That's what I like from Xabi Alonso. He's a manager who can adapt constantly. So Ekitike, for me, he starts on the bench, but doesn't mean that all the games will start on the bench. There's games that he'll start, there's games that they will play both together. So that's how I would align in attack. And I'd said Chiesa, unfortunately, who hasn't really adapted to the Premier League, who hasn't adapted to English football, whose slot has misused also a lot. I would say he may be hoping to recoup 10 million or 15 million. So if we do the maths, I would set McAllister for around 60 million. I would say also Javier Youth will be back on loan if the clause is not triggered around maybe let's say 15-20 million. I would sell Chiesa for 10 million if possible. Konate will leave for free, Salah will leave for free, and I also sell Tsimikas maybe for 5-10 million if possible. I hope to recoup at least 100 million for all the player sales, and for the players I'll buy, I think I'll spend close to 200 million. So my net spend will be around 100 million, which is not bad for a team that qualified for the Champions League. That's not a bad amount. We're really far to the 500 million they invested last summer. So that's my full review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.